Good morning, welcome to the Beach Business Breakfast Show, the start of season 2. Not many people thought we'd last season 1, but we have, so there you go. If you keep trying, you'll get there. So welcome to Jeremy, co-host. How are you, Jeremy?
Yeah, fantastic, Dave.
And our guest today is Tony from East Coast Independent Property Inspections. So we'll talk to Tony in a sec, but just a reminder, Beach Business Breakfast, third Thursday of every month, Merriweather Surf Club function room, 7:30 till 8:30 a.m. $10 gets you a great breakfast, informal networking with passionate business people who can help you grow your business and you can help them grow theirs. So
they're loving it.
They're loving it.
Great.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We had about getting over 50 to our breakfast, and we've about 370 on the mailing list. So we've started our newsletter that people are getting involved in and advertising and promoting their offers to members. So that's what it's all about. So welcome, Tony.
Thanks, fellas. Thank you very much for the invite.
That's all right. You brought beautiful weather with you, which is fantastic.
As I do.
Now, for season 2, because we're in whale watching season and the dolphins are a bit more out, if Jeremy does spot a dolphin or a whale, we'll have a quick...
We'll try and shot it.
We'll try and shot it in. So try and get some famous whales. There was plenty of whales at Port Stephens the other day. Hopefully they've come back down. So Tony, East Coast Property Inspections, how long have you been doing that for?
We're in our third year.
Okay.
Yep.
And before that, is building what you were in prior to that?
I was in construction, so a lot of project management in various heavy industries, whether it was civil, rail, mining. Done some stints there, and the building and the residential stuff's always been a passion. So,
So with mining, was that like local or fly in, fly out stuff? Or
just local, Hunter Valley. When we had the boom on there, probably 5 years plus ago, sort of thing. There was so much infrastructure works going on, so we got heavily involved in a lot of stuff up there. So,
And with residential and that, like apartments and those sorts of things.
No, it was mainly civil works up there and that sort of stuff. There was there was some buildings and so forth, but predominantly there was so much civil and earthworks and things like that. So,
Okay, excellent. So are you a Newcastle local, or are you born and bred?
Yeah, born and bred. Yeah. Remember when I was younger, I used to hate the place, and now I just love it and tell nobody how good it is.
No, that's excellent. That's good. So, been going 3 years. How have you found it?
It's great. It's good in the sense that you create your own destiny and that sort of thing. It's exciting, but it can also be quite lonely at times. You know, being an owner-operator.
It's the both sides of the sole operator business, isn't it? Where you are. You rise and fall on your own efforts.
Yep.
But you do need some support networks around you, don't you?
You do, yeah, and that's where Beach Business Breakfast network meeting is been good, and as you said a minute ago, the growth of it and the support that you get from it, like you said, Jeremy, is fantastic. Because if you need a bit of a prop up here or advice or a service, you've got them at your fingertips.
Do you have like professional sort of network as well, like? You get along okay with other property inspectors and things, and
you got to. I think I think you feed off some of those competitors. You know, work out where their strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and that sort of thing, and grow from that. If you fear them, that's the wrong way. I feel. If you sort of like find out some of the positives out of it all, and I work in with some others as well with workloads, and same with the pest side and that.
And it's a way to learn too about what's happening, what people are finding, and that sort of thing. So, with the property inspection, I know it's sort of a lot more to it now than there used to be in the old days. So now it's like you do people might do building and pest, and some doing pool fences and that sort of stuff. What sort of services do you do?
Yeah, sure. Predominantly it's pre-purchase inspections for buyers, but the town's really embracing the vendor inspection, and I'm really pushing that barrier at the moment where people are proactive, and there's a lot of advantages. Haven't got time to go into it, but there's a lot of advantages in that for buyers, sellers and real estate agents. I'm a big...
I suppose you find the surprises in advance, don't you?
Exactly, that's in a nutshell. It all comes out, everyone's on the same playing field from day one, and then people can either negotiate, rectify or whatever they need to do. So,
just like interesting thinking about that is that when you're the buyer of the property, your fear is that it's going to be infested with termites and the blooming balcony's going to fall off and the piers are rotting and you have no idea what's going on. And people, I guess, they've come to trust property inspectors as an independent sort of knowledgeable person and not, corrupted by money or
Yep.
things like that. If you or the vendor can say, well, here's the inspection, you can see that everything's fine, go and get your own report just so you cover
Yeah.
yourself there.
Yeah.
But also it potentially gives you a chance to fix whatever problems there are, so that, if you go in and you say, in the kitchen the PowerPoint's hanging out the wall a little bit or whatever, and you fix it up, so then, actually we fixed all that, so you put people at ease before they buy, don't you?
And we often now, we go back for the vendors free of charge to amend reports if they've rectified one. We've got one here in Merriweather this morning or later today to go and do. The other services we do, we've just been accredited to do swimming pool certification as well.
Okay.
So that's a big topic now. It's
a minefield,
legislated
isn't it?
and whatnot, and it is a
Yeah.
minefield in New South
Well,
Wales.
that's why you're turning yours into a garden, Dave,
Yeah, exactly.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I saw a stat. They said 95% of pool fences fail
Fact.
at the first
Yep.
Wow.
check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're
and-
in that 95%.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
many do, and people aren't aware of it and the various standards. So
Yeah.
we do that. We do asbestos identification as well, mould identification,
Yeah.
and rental property inspections. We're trying to get on some more rent rolls where we can do sort of annual inspections for landlords, independent,
Yeah.
whole complete inspection, protecting the property manager a bit as well, and also landlords on.
Yeah, right. So you can have a structural inspection instead of just kind of looking at it and going,
Yeah, the
that's fine.
lawns are mowed, the kids aren't.
You
Yep.
might see that there's been a hole patched in a wall where earlier there wasn't one or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, and being in that position myself, it's I feel there's a lot of value there. That's
Yeah.
for sure. So,
Yeah. I suppose that thing you mentioned about getting the inspection done for the vendor,
Yep.
if there's 10 purchasers interested, it saves 10 people getting independent reports. So, which is good. And I think with the friendly auction system that's sort of going around, around Newcastle, which
Yep.
is great.
What?
Part of it's a thing called the friendly auction, and part of it is it's sort of to try and break down the fear that people have of going to auction. And one of the things is that you part of that is that the vendor provides the pest report
Yep.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
building inspection report,
Yeah.
rather than
That seems a bit ridiculous. 10
Yeah.
people getting 10 reports.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's just time wasted for agents and homeowners and the like. So if there's an independent report done, it's all out in the open, and and that's a great system, and that's breaking down those barriers of that auction sort of.
So
fee.
take us back a couple of years. You one morning you woke up and it was your first day
Yep.
in being IPI, and how did you join a franchise group, or did you how did you make that transition?
Done a lot of due diligence on a lot of different businesses, and
Yep.
break it basically down why I went down this path was always was told do what you love doing, what your interests are, your passions are, and renovated lots of properties over my life and that
Yep,
sort of thing. Built my own home and designed and so on, and it was the penny drop, and it hasn't dropped many times in, in the course of life, but it did on this occasion, and that was the reason. That it was sort of like, I've done that, and there was a. And then once I looked into the industry and so forth, there was a bit of an opening there for independent. there's a lot of builders doing it on the side and that sort of stuff. So they were sort of finding, there was a bit of a conflict I felt and that sort of thing. So and that was the sort of catalyst to jump.
Yep. So with your group, are you with a franchise group, or is it with have you got a license under, do you operate under some sort of structure, or is it?
Yeah, we've got it's a network of licensees, so it's a little bit more flexible than a franchise model. So we're totally independent. We don't have really anything to do with each other, but the support's there if we need it, and there's a bit of marketing and software stuff that we use for our reporting and so forth. So that works well because that suits me fine. I'm not governed by territories or anything like that. So it's
Some of the tools to do business, so you're not having to worry about that so much.
Yeah.
So you can run your own race pretty much.
Yeah.
So do you do pest inspection?
No,
Yep.
and the reason I chose not, and I can do that, and a lot do, but I feel it's something I'm not an expert in. I could go and do the training, but it's leave that to the guys that have done it for years, the pest control experts, and I feel it's a better service that we offer to the clients. The guys that I work in with are totally independent, and they use the latest technologies, thermal cameras and so on, and the value I see to the clients is it's two sets of eyes. He's out there looking under logs and timbers and things for the nasties, while I'm looking at the structural side and defects of the property. So, and we're always there together. I always coordinate that, so we're on site
and
together.
you wouldn't know what each other are looking for, even though you're not in a professional capacity going, oh, you might have termites. It would be obvious to you perhaps when you're looking at the subfloor structure of the house, oh, that doesn't look right, there's termites hanging off there or something like that. So,
like telltale signs.
It is. It's not unusual for pest and building to be two separate businesses that they buddy up together too. I've noticed that before, where they're not competing. Obviously, it's very complementary. You're servicing the same client basically at the same time. So so it makes sense if you specialise in that way.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm a big supporter of that as well. And I've got a couple of that I've handpicked due to the sort of the way we operate. So they fit in with our sort of service model and criteria. So it works well.
So I imagine you've seen some shockers in your time, like some houses where you go, holy dooly, what's going on here? What are some of the
the crackers people are trying to offload?
What are some of the good things you've seen in?
There was a beauty not long ago, actually. There's been a couple recently, but in particular, there's this house at down the lakeside, we'll say. It looked great from the outside, a brick veneer joint, built in the 80s sort of thing. You wouldn't know. And look, the agent said, look, prepare yourself. And and
it's always a good sign.
It was, and to their credit. And it was just so badly damaged by termites, but probably one of the worst I've seen in recent times. It's just the architraves, up in the roof space, just all structural timbers were just gone. It was incredible. You wouldn't pick it though, and even walking around inside, you just looked at it was just dated old house.
It's been hollowed out.
Just,
so what, the bulldozer comes in? Is that the recommendation?
Was sort of, it's a borderline. It was something that would have had to been sort of gutted and stripped out and that sort of thing and started. And then once you open that up, you find more and more and more.
Better off just
it's like the whole thing has been
blown it up.
It's amazing it hasn't fallen down.
Sort of throughout. It was a fairly large house, and it was just throughout the whole property.
So what's a normal thing, say, for a building inspection? What do you do? Like, you have a bit of a look on the outside of the house, and what sort of things you're looking for, and
sure. Our reports are highly detailed. They're probably one of the most detailed reports going around town. Probably a little bit detailed for certain people and industries, but it's good. It gives me a real, at the end of the report, you've got that real solid feel of the property, what its true condition is, and that's just, I believe, it's great for my clients. We basically check walls, floors, ceilings, all claddings inside and out. We test and open anything, doors, catches, locks, hinges, windows. We get in the subfloor if we can. We go up in the roof space. We check gutters, drainage, carports, slabs, all that sort of stuff. So, and it's all delivered in a easy to read, which is a little bit rare in the reportings of these things as well. With, photographs if you want those in them as well, of any defects and that sort of thing. So we even check the clothesline. So that's how detailed they are.
So before you get your property inspection, do all of the handyman tasks you haven't done for the last 10 years and fix everything so it works perfectly.
Well, that's the thing. Cause
otherwise it'll be like, this is broken, this door doesn't work, this hinge is falling off.
And if you're going to be the purchaser of a house, they're the things you want taken care of, aren't they?
Yeah, because you open under the sink and you see the waste trap leaking or something. Well, when you're buying a house, you're sort of a bit hesitant of opening things and that, and should I, shouldn't I, and
And
it just affects the price, doesn't it, in the end? You know, it's just another reason for this purchaser to come back and say,
I want a discount of $5,000 because I've got to fix this stuff.
And it's always well received by all parties, I find, you know, because if it's brought out up front, you know, and we don't over-dramatise, we're not there to kill sales, it's just reporting the facts, warts and all, as it is.
So with the, so you just say the vendor asks you to do a report, and you do that, and that's made available at open houses and that sort of stuff. If, you know, a purchaser looks at that, can they rely on that, or is that
Absolutely, yeah. And we even offer a service where if they're the successful bidder on the property, we'll transfer it into their name.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've got the report for their
Okay,
going
no, that's
forward.
fantastic.
So yeah, that's another thing that we do. And
Do you check the fences and driveways and things?
Yeah,
too?
driveways, carports, garages, yeah. Anything
Excellent.
within a 30, 40 metre radius of the main dwelling, so if there's little sub-houses or
wow.
anything like that,
Yeah.
sub-dwellings
do you
and
check
sheds.
teenagers' rooms?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
Okay.
And I often
Do you need
ask...
special training for that, or is that
sometimes, yeah.
or special gear like asbestos gear or something
Yeah.
for teenagers' room?
Yeah. We're not allowed to move stuff, so
Yeah.
so we sort of gingerly
Yeah.
walk around stuff and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sort of thing, and
Yeah.
you see some funny things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's good. So, how did you get your first clients? Like, how did you woke up that first morning and go, okay, you got your shirt, you didn't, Tony had his IPI shirt on before we made him wear the Hawaiian shirt. So you put your shirt on, you looked in the mirror, you go, I'm ready to rock and roll. And then what did you do? How did you get your first clients? What did you do?
Funny enough, it come through networking.
Okay, good.
Her
Yep.
first clients, and so I was doing some, there's plenty of good networking groups around town, so it was bouncing
Not as
around.
many as good as ours, but
No,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's more or less it was
Shameless
word
plug.
of mouth, and
Yeah.
and that's basically
How aware were you of that as being a potential source of customers for you beforehand? Like, is that something you'd done before or you'd thought of? You're like, oh, okay, well, when I do in property inspection business, I'll need to go and do networking because that's where I'll get my customers. Like, how premeditated was it?
Yeah, it was deliberate. There's no two ways about that. I just from me research and homework I've done prior, knowing that it is a strong referral-based business, and just the way the industry is, it's fairly tight knit with whether it's conveyancers, brokers, and the like.
Yeah, real estate agents.
Sphere
agents
of
and that.
property people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of and that's just just been work ever since to be in those circles, I guess,
Yeah.
to keep working on and gathering traction.
Oh, excellent. And it's just the thing, as Jeremy said, you rise and fall by your own efforts, and it's a slow trajectory that eventually pays off. So you just got to keep at it. So.
As a solicitor said the other day, he said, "You've got to kiss a lot of frogs, Tony," and that sort of thing. And it's so true, though. It really is, and it's no different to a lot of small businesses, out on their own. So
No, that's good. So, what's the best bit of business advice you've ever been given, apart from kiss a lot of frogs?
Yeah, that wasn't true. I actually, I do get a lot of quotes from from some mentors overseas and so forth. But it's persistence and always looking to improve. But no such quote I have. But it's persistence pays off. So you got to stick with it. Like you said, the rise and fall, Jeremy. It's so true. And being lonely at times, and then you just got to
get out of discouragement avenue.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's the accountability. You've got to be hard on yourself, and and that sort of thing. But persistence pays off, and be resilient to the markets and so forth. And
no, that's good. Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us, Tony. That was really good. Thanks again for bringing the great weather. I don't think we saw any whales or dolphins. I saw
there's a few fish out there jumping around, but that is only little ones.
Some of the boys are looking out there through the binoculars to have a look, and John was out walk on extra today. We're going to introduce the walk in extras who just sort of walk at the back.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
When you watch TV shows, you often see like people just walking past in the background. And so
I was listening to someone. They said that extras. One of the things they teach them to say is, "You'll love this." Mortgage watermelon. They said if you say mortgage watermelon, you can look like you're saying anything.
Excellent.
So
fantastic.
Okay. So that's what they do in the background.
So it looks like they're saying something.
Yeah.
At least they don't talk to us.
Yeah, that's good. They do chat a little bit sometimes in the background, but anyway, that's good. So, okay, Tony, well, thanks. You have a great day.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Great. Thank you.
We'll see you all next time. So just remember, Beach Business Breakfast, third Thursday of every month, Merriweather Surf Club, 7:30 till 8:30 a.m. Thanks again. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.